it's kind of weird in doing this film because it's like I don't really know what really to say about it. Like,
yeah, I kind of feel that.
Like, because I don't know. Like, I mean, I think I like it, but I can't really tell if I think it's. Because the thing is, I just know it's not like it's not something I'm gonna give super high. Mm-hmm. And I don't really have any reasons why. It just watching is really a matter of feeling. It's like I like it, but it's like it ain't something that's like 95. But I don't really give you any concrete reason.
It's good, but not great.
Like I even read up, I even watched it. I even looked up reviews. But most of these reviews are not even reviews. It's all fucking about blasphemy and all that kind of shit. Oh. Like this film is blasphemy, which is weird because you were saying yesterday that you felt it was Christian propaganda, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not a blasphemous movie. Like, it treats Jesus very well.
Most people, actually, all the reviews I've seen, do you know, do you a favor, type in, go on YouTube and type in fucking, as we get added to the video, go to YouTube right now and type in fucking the Book of Clarence review, and you'll see a bunch, and see the videos that come up.
I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hey guys, how you doing? We're actually a little late with this because I think it came out last week. Actually, we watched the Book of Clarence.
Yeah, yes, the Book of Clarence.
Book of Clarence. And I mean, they're gonna do kind of a review, but I mean, you know, because of the subject matter, it's a lot of interesting, funny.
At this point, it's honestly more interesting to talk about the controversy around it
exactly,
than the actual movie. I mean, we'll go into our thoughts as we go into it.
I mean,
but the main focus is going to be on the drama.
I think we just get that out the way just now, just to get out the way.
Yeah. This is what it is.
A very famous musician, rapper, artist is behind this movie. As a producer, Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. So you all know him and his wife, Beyonce. Big deal. He's rap's first billionaire. And he's really, I mean, he's done movies in the past like Paid in Full. That was really more Dame Dash, but you know, this is one that's under his banner. So the Book of Clarence, you know, it takes place in the biblical times, Jerusalem.
Yeah.
The days of Jesus.
33 AD.
The days of Jesus. Jesus is with. So pretty much the main character is Clarence. Clarence is a dude that's just, you know, as in the gutters of Jerusalem, you know, trying to make a buck out here. Mm-hmm. He made a bet with this pretty dangerous dude called something the Terrible.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but I know I had the Terrible in it. Yeah, really cool that he had those kind of names. Yeah, and he did it because he was trying to win the affections of that dude's sister. To show him that, you know, that he basically want to be somebody, you know, typical guy with dreams, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hopes, you know, when to get big so he can take care of his moms and his family.
Just a boy with a dream.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So he did a race with Mary Magdalene, played by Teyana Taylor, another musician, singer, and actress. They race. She beat him. So, you know, he lost his horses, so now he's like, him and his best friend is like, okay, how are we going to pay, you know, this dude back? Because if I don't pay him back, he's going to, you know, kill me and crucify me. Yes. You know, so then that encounter then leads him to tangling with his brother. He has a twin brother, Clarence has a twin brother, forgot his name.
I think it's Thomas.
Thomas, yeah, he has Clarence has a twin brother named Clarence Thomas. Mm-hmm. Clarence Thomas is historically known as a black sellout. He's a black Supreme Court justice. Never heard of him?
No, but that's probably intentional. That naming is probably intentional then.
Yeah, I just realized it. And Thomas rolls with the 12 apostles.
Yeah, 12 he's apostles
one of them. Of Jesus, of Yeshua.
Yes, Yeshua, as his original name in the Bible, because J's weren't invented yet.
Yeah, I think Yeshua sounds better personally.
Honestly, yeah.
Like Yeshua.
I gotta dig Yeshua.
Yeah. Yeshua sounds mystical and cool. Mm-hmm. Jesus sounds too braggadocious. Jesus. And that's not even his Jesus.
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced in most countries. It's Jesus.
Yeah. So that pretty much begins the plot. So he tangles his brother. He's the only one pretty much in his community that's like, no, this Messiah dude is full of crap. He's whatever he's doing is tricks, and you know what I mean. And all you guys are clowns. And who are you to judge me, twin brother, about me being like pretty much a worthless piece of shit when you abandoned,
you abandoned our mom,
your mom to go, play disciple of Jesus, so that's the friction, that pretty much begins everything. But he has a desire to show him that I'm not some loser, I'm not some nobody, so he's like, I'm gonna become one of Jesus' apostles, and to prove himself he had to prove himself to Judas Iscariot that, okay, he could do something dangerous that could possibly get him killed, which was to free some slaves. He ended up freeing a very big bad slaves because he had to duel him. You know what I mean? He
freed Barnabas.
Yeah, Barnabas, the immortal. That's the big dude. But he did it. He freed him. He freed him because he's crafty. He's a crafty son of a bitch. He freed him. And then, but his brother still was like, nah, dude, there's no way. You're not a man of faith. You're a fraud. There's no way I'm introducing you to Jesus and selling my reputation. Nah, not happening. So he's like, so he gives them a run for their money. He's like, fuck you guys. All you ain't shit. And he pretty much went out and became a new Messiah himself, using his boys along with, Barnabas.
Yeah, Barnabas.
Barnabas the Immortal to pretty much help aid him in, like, becoming like a false, Messiah, false prophet. He's like faking miracles, shit like that.
Yeah.
Pretty much becoming a televangelist.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. And he ends up becoming big.
It makes a fuck ton of money off
which
of it.
Which then puts him on a similar path to Jesus in many ways, especially when it comes to his end.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the Book of Clarence. Yeah, so I mean, it really is a rag to riches story. It's like me and Nick, we have a tendency, especially speaking for me, like I have a tendency, like I'm not big on like, like more like the one thing I know is for reviews. This like nowadays, especially because I know people who does like professional reviews, and they have given critiques where it's like it's very salacious. It's more about like the representation and the politics of it all instead of the actual content. You know what I mean? Like
we're trying to judge the movies or how they are as a movie. I'm
reviewing the content exactly as it is in the movie. I'm not trying to come off as something. I'm not trying to just kind of find sound bites and talk about stuff that I'm not really that knowledgeable in. I'm just talking about stuff that I know and mainly pertaining to what the movie is. Like I'm not trying to make any political statements here. You know what I mean? Or make any political connotations or like try to stay in a way. Okay, no, these people obviously believe in this or doing that, and like no, that's not.
But that being said, a lot of the people who do resort to that, not to throw all of them under a bus, but a lot of them tend to do this thing where they like either oversimplify or flat even like don't fully understand what they're grasping at. So a lot of their critiques sound very like hollow, like they didn't even see the movie.
Yeah, honestly. And that's what brings us to wanting to like maybe like there's a lot of thumbnails, a lot of big titles like Jay-Z debuts new blasphemous movie, The Book of Clarence. It opens temple to Brooklyn himself. Yeah, whatever. Another one, Jay-Z releases blasphemous Bible movie mocking Christians. Jay-Z new movie brutally mocks Jesus. Like there's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah, like this is like we're seeing a whole bunch of these videos. Like this is expert level deception.
Yeah,
and
so many Christians are falling for it.
Like no,
so it's like all right, man, fuck it. Like like let's see what you're talking about. Fuck it.
What's going on, everybody? So I seen the preview for this movie pop up on my Instagram last night. Somebody tagged me in it, called The Book of Clarence. First thing that I saw is that Jay-Z is involved in it. All right, and so. The guy who's directing it, he also worked on a music video, Legacy, for, I think, Jay-Z's album 444, right? So him and Jay-Z are working together on this movie, right? You've got, Black Hebrew, I guess Israelites. You got a Black Jesus in the movie. And so, I play the trailer right here. You can see it, but pretty much they have this guy, right? And he sees Jesus, right? And he sees Jesus rise to fame. And he says, you know what? He's sitting there with his homeboy, and they see Jesus like, man, you can't even buy power like that. He says, I want to be like that in 10 years. Then he says, well, I want to be like that now. So then he hatches this plan, right? Where, he's going to make people believe he's some kind of Messiah. So he has his homeboy play blind, right? And he miraculously heals him. Then they show the money that's coming in. He says knowledge is stronger than belief. A lot of real subtle things. And I just think it's so interesting, right? how people, they don't want to see this kind of stuff. You think it's just entertainment. Now, guess what? They're going to get probably some of the best writers and things like that, make it real funny, make it real appealing, get people's curiosity going. But it's demonic. It's the same thing they do with the music. They get the best beats and you're hypnotized by the beat. What is their obsession, with Christianity, Jesus? Now, Jay-Z's nickname, Hove, is actually short for Jehovah. It's a play on word. He claims to be, the god of rap. He has this obsession with...
you sound like my barber, full of, if you're aware of hood barbers, they're... barbers from the hood, they're big, they're huge. They just talk shit, they chill all day, talking about mad conspiracy shit. Mm-hmm. And I got to see my barber gradually turn into that over the years he's been cutting my hair. Because as he became more of an older head, he started to do shit like that and adopt those same feelings and philosophies, and it's like, what I mean, I get it from him, but you're like a YouTuber, younger, why you sound like those guys?
Yeah, why do you sound like you're just absolutely detached from everything?
Exactly.
You sound like an old religious person.
Exactly. You're giving no real subtext, no real analysis about what we're really talking about. You're just giving your 2 cents. You sound like an Instagram commenter.
This is before the movie even came out. He's just talking about the trailers. No fucking wonder.
No wonder he's watching the trailers. But even so, I guess fair enough. He didn't watch them. That's one thing I didn't notice when I first watched the video. But he obviously didn't watch. He just talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
about
that's all he's doing. He's just talking at you.
But even what he's saying is dude, it's
yeah.
First off, you're black. Why are you champion a white religion that you've been colonized into following?
I know, right? It's really ridiculous.
It's it's crazy. Have some I'll say watch the movie before you this is crazy that you're releasing this before you watch the movie. You sound crazy
because you're making it sound like you know what the movie's about before it's even out.
And Jehovah and then God, stop trying to draw a comparison with things that are not really that deep. Mm-hmm. He's a braggadocious dude. He's calling himself a god of hip hop. He's just it's a braggadocious statement. That's really all it is to it. Yeah, not that deep. But anyways, let's. This is 4 months ago.
Most of these are 4 months ago. Most of these are just reactions to the damn trailer. They're not actually about the fucking movie, which is so stupid.
That's one thing. That's actually my bad.
This one is from 5 days ago. Yeah. This one actually had time to see the damn movie.
There's actually one thing I didn't finish. These reviews were a long time ago. No one didn't probably typed in the original Book of Clarence.
And now this film is finally out. I think it's been out for a few days now. It's not doing all that great in the box office. I think it's made $3 million, maybe $4 million in the box office, which isn't that great considering that the budget was 10 times that at least. So they're definitely in the red right now. But this film really confuses me because the media is marketing this film as a faith-based film. And it seems as if the director of this film...
That's not true.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's marketed that way at all.
I've seen a bunch of trailers for this, especially in theaters, and the trailers did not allude to this being a faith film. This alludes to mocking faith. I thought this was going to be like how you said the Monty Python Life of Brian was. Like kind of satirical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought it was going to be more like that, too. I thought it was going to be even...
satire.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be even harsher than that, given by the trailers, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Jesus satire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no... They're no, but just like Life of Brian, it's caused controversy. Life of Brian actually got fucking blocked in a couple countries. Flat out. So ridiculous.
Wow.
Is also getting on board with that and marketing this film as a faith-based film. And that's really confusing to me because when I think of a faith-based film, I think about number one, the primary focus. The number one focus of the film is to glorify Jesus Christ.
Not necessarily. There's a bunch of biblical stories that don't have him at all.
Yeah.
And then in doing so, it is also edifying to the spirit. It's edifying to the body of Christ.
A lot of main ones do. It's like Son of God, Passion of Christ.
It is meant to build up our faith, not to confuse us, not to plant seeds of confusion. And it's also meant to allow people who may not know Christ an understanding of who he is and the beautiful gift that he gives us of eternal life. That's what I think about when I think about a faith-based movie. Now, I understand that there's different ways that you can go about doing that. But those core tenets have to be in place for me to consider it to be a faith-based movie. That's just me. When I think about this movie, and just from the standpoint of at the producer level, I don't get the vibe that Jay-Z believes that Jesus Christ is God. I don't get the understanding based on what he said. And I don't know what he says. I don't know what he does in private. I don't know what he believes in his heart. But based on the things that I've seen, the lyrics that I've read, the interviews that I've watched, I don't get a clear understanding that he believes that Jesus is God.
But that makes no sense, because in this movie, Jesus is portrayed as, like, doing all these godly things.
Yeah, like, he's legitimately, like, showing, like, superpowers, like, apocalypse-level mutant.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, he's doing, like, telekinesis. We see him touch someone and the person, like, wounds heal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's really out here. And it's, like, most of the movie, the character didn't even leave. It was, like, the very end.
Yeah. Like, honestly, they depict Jesus pretty damn well in that sense. Like,
yeah.
Actually, this actually brings up an interesting topic. Like, you said that Jay-Z was, like, a play on Jehovah, right?
Yeah.
Like, does Jay-Z have, like, any particular, like, Jehovah's Witness background? Because they're the only ones who really call God that.
Michael Jackson did, but I'm not too sure about him. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, like, if he does, then that actually raises an interesting point, because the Jehovah's Witnesses actually, they usually get a lot of details about the Bible wrong, but one part they get right is that they're actually pretty clear that Jesus is the Son of God, not actually God, and the Trinity was kind of made up.
That's the Trinity. Like,
yeah, which is made up, which is actually isn't even in the Bible. That's just kind of made up afterwards.
That Jesus was part of the Trinity, like he's just one part of God.
Yeah,
he's
like,
God, but not God at the same time.
Yeah, that was like, that's never actually written in the Bible.
Yeah, he is the Son of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an interesting little factoid.
And if a producer is not clear in their beliefs when it comes to a faith-based movie, it becomes extremely confusing for me to believe the sincerity in those claims. Now, Christianity Today, which I'm not necessarily sure who runs Christianity Today, and like I said, I haven't seen the movie. Maybe you've seen the movie. Maybe
you haven't seen the movie? What's wrong with you?
Maybe you feel like
so everybody. So one coming down. I didn't watch all these. Probably like I just saw a lot of thumbnails and I'm like so everyone, even the ones that just came out, no one watched this yet. So that kind of shows you how it like
this is ignorance.
How people work, and that's how Instagram comments work. People just and YouTube comments, they just talk without really like doing your homework. They jump to
conclusions, they make assumptions, and they make themselves look like complete idiots because they don't know what they're talking about.
Watch the freaking movie.
Yeah, watch the movie and come to any fucking. What I'll respect any ridiculous opinion you have as long as you actually watch the damn movie to form it yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one's also 5 days ago. Do you want to jump to this one and see if this one actually bothered to see the fucking movie?
Yeah.
Christianity Today and other Christian ministries are calling Jay-Z's new controversial movie.
Okay, this is a bad sign because he's also talking about the article by Christianity Today, a fucking magazine. Talk about the damn movie, please.
Clarence, Christian in essence. Focus on the Family even said, this film takes faith very seriously indeed, and one could almost even call this a Christian film, one with more explicit religious content than many movies churned out by the faith-based film industry. But there's a hidden message in this film that they're all missing, which makes the message of this movie quite literally not Christian and even blasphemous. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, as usual, there won't be any major spoilers in this review that you can't get from the trailer or the synopsis, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, this movie is set in 33 AD during the time of Jesus and his ministry, and the movie focuses on the down-on-his-luck drug-dealing twin brother of the Apostle Thomas, named Clarence, who struggles to find a better life for his family while fighting to free himself of a large debt that he owes to the wrong people. So Clarence, captivated by the power and glory of the popular Messiah Jesus and his apostles, he attempts to attain the same privilege and power by claiming to be the new Messiah and tricking the masses into believing him. But ultimately, along the way, he discovers that the redemptive power of belief may be his only way out. Now, on the surface, it makes sense why so many Christian ministries saw this movie as a Christian film. Initially, because it was produced by Jay-Z, many expected for it to be overtly blasphemous, but after watching it, they didn't seem to be able to articulate what exactly was wrong with it. Now, leaving aside the race element for a moment, in the film, the writers seem to treat a lot of the core elements of Christianity.
There's no race problems here. It's more accurate than any other fucking Christian movie scene where everyone is white and Nordic looking.
Yeah, remember in the Bible, Jesus is described as like
dark as fuck,
dark skin, having woolly hair. You know.
Yep, burnt feet like burnt copper. That's black.
Exactly. So the thought that he'd be white is kind of silly.
Yeah. He looks like he's more from the Sudan than fucking Norway.
And it's implied that he was raised from the dead. And by contrast, you have the protagonist, Clarence, an atheist, who's trying to con people out of money by doing fake miracles. And eventually, he comes to believe in the true miracles of Jesus as well. Although they trust some of the
it was my favorite part of the movie. Because I kind of took away from I mean, I kind of get it, but then that's when it kind of gets kind of faithy a little bit.
Yeah.
By the very end, it was done a lot better than most of those Christian movies.
Oh, way better than most of those.
I felt that they kind of take away from I mean, the idea for him, with Jesus becoming, actually being not a fraud and really being who he is, makes sense in a grand scheme of things in terms of if we're looking at it from the growth of Clarence, because Clarence is pretending to be someone else, which is very morally corrupt. Hey, we're dissing this man, but you're using his same shtick to con people too. So that doesn't make you any better than the person you don't believe in. So it's you know what I mean? So for him to actually get faith, I guess, I guess kind of I don't know, it kind of wisened him up to maybe look outside of himself, I guess, a little bit. So it worked in that way for personal growth.
Yeah. Really, my only issue it was very obvious it was going from way early in the movie, but aside from how it was handled itself, it wasn't done.
I mean, it started going that way once you realized Jesus was the real deal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because along the movie didn't really specify him, and none of his people, and none of the people that usually would speak for him, did him any favors because they all came up very ignorant.
The apostles are all assholes in this movie.
Very ignorant and very ghetto. You know, all some bullshit. So it's they put no faith in Jesus. You know what I mean? But then when he comes in, he's the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's So it's that's how I see it.
Yeah, because what's interesting about it is that Clarence never really learns to embrace faith, because he's always because he's always about knowledge over faith, and that's how he's eventually convinced to believe in Jesus and God is not by a faith argument.
Yeah.
It's by actual demonstrations by both Jesus and God.
And what I like about it is that he comes to the conclusion without Jesus and God. He's able to figure out that he's able to figure out morality and the right thing by experience, by knowledge, by knowing this isn't right.
Because he has a moral conscience even before he becomes religious.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So it kind of shows you that you actually don't need it. It's right within you. You know.
Yeah.
But most religious people believe that God's word is there, even though it's not really known. Even though you're not really aware of it.
Yeah,
it's God behind it.
That's very much a religious teaching that Christianity spreads. Yes.
But in that case, the way I see it now, I'm getting a little religious. If that's the case, then you should also blame him for the bad things too. Just don't give him credit for all the good shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because into my faith, God's a complicated character for me. Nick, I'll speak of him he said many times he's an atheist.
Yes.
I'm more of an agnostic. I don't know what I don't know. I couldn't deign to know. But the way I see it is I do have problems with the religious interpretations of God. You know what I mean? It's very self-aggrandizing. It's very reflective of our own godlike personas as humans and our conceitedness and our egos. and we built God as a monument to our own ego to make us feel important.
And a lot of the Bible is actually written to justify that too, which is kind of scummy.
Because even the Bible, God is not like that great of a dude.
No,
so it's like,
not really.
It's not even like that. It's like stop trying to assign him to being all good, everything's right with him. No, like he created a universe and he allows evil to exist, so he's responsible for everything.
Yeah,
it's not good or bad. We're his test subjects. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fair enough. So, and that's why, and that's more my own personal common sense of it all.
And while, of course, the moral argument doesn't mean that there is no God necessarily, but it does mean that the all good Christian God that's portrayed to us,
if he allows free will, then he's automatically allowing good and bad. He's not just wants for good.
Yeah,
he gets he get flack for everything.
But yet Christians will try to have their cake and eat it too, by trying to claim that they're not, and that those are totally compatible and don't conflict at all. And that's where they really lose me. Is they lose me in their inconsistency, and they lose me in their contradictions.
Contradiction,
yeah.
You know, yeah, and that's just how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah, just to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But now back more to what's relevant to the movie and the drama around the movie.
Of Jesus' ministry in a fairly accurate and non-mocking way. So it makes sense that so many Christian reviewers saw this movie as supporting the reality of Jesus and the importance of belief in him. The only problem is, they're all wrong. The underlying message at play has nothing to do with Jesus or the God of the Bible. Some viewers may be tipped off to this once they realize some of the liberties that the director takes. For example, the film draws from some non-biblical material to supply some of its narrative, like the Gnostic Gospel of Thomas, which was written in the late 2nd century, over 100 years after Thomas had already been martyred. Now, at first glance, this might seem like simply a creative decision, but as you'll see later, there's a deeper reason for these references that everyone seemed to miss. And speaking of apostles, as we see in the trailer, the apostles are seen as this almost elitist group of people who wield power and influence and look down on the common people, which is what leads Clarence to envy them.
Yeah, like Christians
This is the exact opposite of the way that the apostles interacted with the society, as they were often attacked by the actual religious elites of their day, specifically for associating with the social outcast. But like most things in this movie, there's an intentional reason for why the director chose to portray them this way that has more to do with the hidden message of the film than faithfully representing the biblical narrative. But one message that they didn't try to hide were the pretty overt racial overtones surrounding a lot of messages around race dynamics that parallel a lot of the things going on in America today. They seem to really want to show a dichotomy between white and black people by having an almost all black cast, except for the evil and malicious Roman oppressors who were all white. They even parallel the Romans with stereotypes of racist police officers today. So those parts of the movie, I think a lot of people are going to see them as unnecessary and inflammatory. And although this part is overt in its message, it still plays into the hidden message as well, which we'll come to see here in just a second. But while we're in the realm of subliminal messages, as we see in the trailer, the depiction of how religion spreads and operates in some parts of the movie is also problematic. Early in the movie, we see religious believers depicted as ignorant pawns whose only function is to make the religious charlatans that trick them rich and powerful.
That's kind of how it kind of is, you know what I mean? At least in certain, factions and certain...
Yeah. It is a fact that religions often exploit the poor for money. Exactly,
especially Christianity.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's wrong. I think those two Christian articles are more right, where it's very clearly depicting Jesus in this positive light. It's very clear. Yeah. I think, again, this might be a bit presumptuous of me, but I think he just doesn't like the way how Christians in general are treated in the movie, which they're not portrayed in the brightest light. They're hey, religious people are not really portrayed that great, but the people that they're worshiping are.
But he's that's legit what it is. Cause it's not really the religion; it's more the people in the religion. Mm-hmm. Religion's not really the problem. Not necessarily. It's more the people that use it for their own gain and
honestly,
twisting things. Because religion in its purest form is just lessons in Bible, lessons in morality. Mm-hmm. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it in its purest form, but people come in and they twist it for their own gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what's worse is that all these groups will fucking cherry pick points in the Bible that agree with their view and just ignore the ones that disagree with their view. And I'm no, that's just annoying, man.
It is. You know, and this movie kind of it kind of covers all those bases, and that's one thing I liked about it. It covered the people that just use it for their own gain, the ignoramuses, and the people that truly is trying to seek enlightenment, and willing to learn from their errors and grow.
Honestly, this movie reminds me a lot of Moral Oral in that exact sense.
Okay, what's that?
Moral Order was an Adult Swim show in the 2000s where
Sounds familiar.
it was very much about this like very Christian town, and it was like how they're like all practice like they're all moral and godly, but yet they're all like actually repressed as fuck and just secretly all just the worst people around, just trying to like portray this image of how good they are because their their religious views are just fueling their own egos.
Yeah, that's what makes a lot of these priests...
Yeah, and they lead themselves down this spiral because they're trying to conform to society they can't adapt to.
Yeah, like this, all these priests that does all this pervy shit. There you go. Like those are a lot of reasons. Oh, that sexual repression.
Yeah.
Like they corrupted the world so much to make you think that sex is just as fucked up as murder.
And
if not worse.
And yet, whenever a priest is convicted of something like that, they're all rushed to defend them. Like I still remember when there was a big scandal in the Catholic Church where a bunch of Catholic priests were like revealed to be like sexual predators, and the church was covering that shit up. Yeah, like I remember when that shit was new. Like there was like movies about it, there was documentaries,
Spotlight.
a South Park episode about it. Like for real, like. And this keeps happening over and over again. Well, priests and people in that kind of position will abuse their authority and do horrible, heinous things, and the church will back them up,
Yeah,
trying to deflect them to other scapegoats. Like, oh no, we're not the groomers. It's this group who are the groomers, or that group. Fuck you.
Yeah, and this movie, Book of Clarence, wasn't really, they weren't really shying away from portraying like then I tried to do one of those like Jesus movies that's just all about like everything involving this religion is perfect. No, they showed you the ugly spots,
Yeah.
as well as some of the gems, because he really sucks. He got enlightenment, at least in a realistic, understanding way that took time and patience and growth.
Because Jesus was depicted here as he really should be, as someone who's powerful with the ultimate kindness in his heart. And I thought that resonated really well. I really liked how he was depicted in this movie, even though he was more of a plot device than an actual character.
Sure.
But
which is
whatever.
Fine. Which is fine.
Yeah, he didn't need to be an actual character. He didn't need to be around that much to make his presence known and felt.
Exactly. They tried to do it for Michael Jordan, but they didn't come across the same way as it came across here.
That was weak sauce in there because it had nothing to say about Michael Jordan there. He was just kind of there. Here, this movie has something to say about Jesus, that Jesus is great and that his word means something, that there's validity there. It has a message, and that's why it works better.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess we go with scores.
Yeah, we can give a score to the movie.
I think Book of Clarence get 85 for me.
Honestly, I'm thinking like 79.
Okay, that's
like
fair.
it's like on the cusp of being 80, but not quite there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I thought there's a lot of good moments in this movie. I'm nothing really super bad to say about it, but I don't think it's worth a 90. This is quality level.
Yeah. Overall, it's a pretty decent movie. If it's a movie that like you're on the fence about seeing, then I recommend go give it a shot just to see if you like it or not.
It's probably one of the best movies that's come out so far this year.
Yeah, it's like seriously, what else is out in January? You have a musical, you have a so bad it's good Jason Statham movie, and you have fucking Night Swim, which no one should see Night Swim because Night Swim is the worst.
That one sucks. Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
Pretty crummy.
But with that being said, I think that's all we have to say about the Book of Clarence and all the ridiculous controversy that's been spewed from this.
Yeah. And Peter, I didn't watch the fucking movie yet. It is one of this.
Honestly, this guy is the best by far because he actually watched the fucking movie.
Exactly.
He's the only one of these fucks that actually respects.
The new Christian movie's insane. That's a month ago.
Yeah.
A month, dude.
I mean, that's a different movie, it looks like, so whatever.
The new Christian movie? Oh, it is?
I mean, yeah, because that doesn't
can't
look like...
I'm just seeing the fucking title.
I'm seeing the shift on this, so
okay,
that's a different title.
Never mind, I forget that.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's... But yeah, the way that certain Christians are overreacting is overblown and awful. Yeah. But honestly, I think most Christians could walk in this movie and actually get a couple laughs. Actually, like about it. Definitely appreciate the depiction of Jesus, as I think he's done very well.
Yeah. And if you worry about the color thing, remember he's definitely not white neither.
No. I mean, just depending on the region. If he was white, he would have to be Roman, which that would raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, because he definitely wasn't.
No,
he's Hebrew. He's a Palestinian Hebrew.
He's not. He doesn't look like Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, he does not. And I like that he added it into the movie.
Yeah, the way they used it was actually really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah. But that being said, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time for some more movie reviews. Support good movies in movie theaters, and maybe give this one a shot if you feel like it.
See you later, guys.